Welcome to the final video in the class mechanics series. This one took a while as lots of things were happening around the game, but now we are here and ready to check out each spec for the Necromancer. Let's start with the base class. Necromancer is one of the easiest classes to level with and has a decent amount of weapons that it can use, but it is not that powerful in the end game as some of the other classes. The main mechanic for the class is the Shroud, which is a state that you can enter if you have enough life force, which doubles as a secondary HP pool, and you also get access to a new set of skills. When you reach level 80, my recommendation is to get your cheap name exotic gear from the trading post. I recommend Zed's armor if you plan to go power DPS, or Norgu's armor if you plan to go Condi DPS. As for the build, I recommend this one after you reach level 80. We can move on to Reaper, which keeps getting buffed, and it is now a decent power DPS spec. If you enjoy playing a Necro with a grey sword, this is for you. The new mechanic is that your Shroud is changed to Reaper Shroud that consumes more life force, but it's more powerful and melee oriented. You also gain access to shouts. And otherwise it's pretty similar to the main class. You can check out the build on the screen if Reaper is for you. The build that I like to play for this spec is on the screen now. The next elite spec is Scourge, and it is the main spec for teaching people new encounters with minimal risk for ignoring mechanics. But this spec can DPS too, and not just revive down players. Opposite to Reaper, this is a Condi spec, and the build will cost a bit more, but it is worth it in my opinion. The new mechanic for this spec is that you sacrifice the Shroud to provide barrier to yourself and allies. You still need life force to do this, but depending on your build, you can teleport down allies to you and provide big barriers to mitigate the damage, or use the life force to do lots of damage. As for the weapons, you gain access to torches. I will put on the screen the heal variant. And the latest spec, Harbinger, which also received some buffs to the Condi build recently, but unlike the previous two specs, the Harbinger can provide quickness too if you set it up for it. The new mechanic for the spec is that your Shroud is replaced by the Harbinger Shroud, which doesn't double as a secondary HP pool, and you'll actually have less HP based on your blight stacks, but you'll do more damage. You can now also wield pistols in your main hand. There is more variety when choosing your build too, as Harbinger can be power or Condi DPS. I will put the Condi DPS build on the screen as that is what I have been using. But if you want to go power, just take the Reaper build and select all the top traits from the Harbinger line, and that's it. In conclusion, Necromancer is a versatile class, with not that many boon support options, but with one of the most needed build for some groups, and decent DPS options too. If you enjoy playing Necromancers in other games, I think you'll enjoy Necro in this one too. If you want to see more content like this, please let me know in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed the video, please click the like and subscribe buttons.